Hey guys, it's me Jadyn and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I wanted to have this conversation with you guys. I've been planning this video for so long. I really wanted to talk to you guys about confidence and insecurities and self-esteem, all related to dance. Obviously, you can take these and apply these in different ways to other aspects of life, but this is primarily for a dancer. I know these are things that I've kind of found out in my life, just how to help me feel more confident while I'm at dance. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is picking out your leotard for the day. Now I know personally that if I am not feeling comfortable or confident with myself one day, then I want to avoid leotards that have cutouts and that have a lot of mesh detailing and that come down very low, because I'm always very self-conscious about, having a chest, as we all do, but that's just something where I just don't like leotards that come down very low. I like low back, high neck. So I know that my go-to leotard is a zip-up leotard that has completely full back and looks kind of like a knockoff Yumiko, for being honest here, but it's my go-to whenever I'm feeling very insecure about my body. It's high cut, so it makes our lines look longer, and it's just my favorite go-to. Of course, every time I wear it doesn't mean that I'm not feeling confident. It's just my favorite leotard out of all of my leotards. But that's something that I think it's really important to have, is a go-to leotard. If you don't have one, I highly recommend either choosing one out of your already owned leotards or getting a leotard that you love and that will make you feel confident and comfortable, and having that as your go-to. My next tip talks about tights. And you might be thinking, okay, what about tights? You just put them on. But tights can be styled so many different ways. You can wear cutoff tights, you can wear your tights under your leotard, you can wear your tights over your leotard, you can wear your tights over bigger and fold them over like a lot of professionals do. But there's so many ways to wear your tights, and they can really help you feel more or less confident. I know when I buy tights offline, they are usually tight in the waist because they haven't been stretched out at all, and it's very frustrating. So what I do is I cut down 3/4, at least 3/4. Sometimes I'll cut all the way around, as long as you don't break the seam in the band. I will put a picture right here that I'm talking about. And I cut around or cut down just to give it a little bit of release. I also know that if I'm not feeling very confident and I want to wear my tights under my leotard if they're going to cut in a little bit, because it just looks more flattering and it just makes me feel more confident. But if I know my tights are comfortable, even if I'm not feeling the most confident, I will still wear them over top, because as long as my tights aren't cutting into my rib cage, stomach, waist, then I will still feel confident. But that's just something that, again, you have to play around with. You really have to decide, what's my go-to, what makes me feel the most confident, how can I feel the most confident by wearing that. But that is something that you definitely want to think about. Moving down the line with clothing, let's go into warm-ups. Now, I know not everyone can wear warm-ups, and I am so thankful that I can, partially because of my injury, but warm-ups are something that you really want to be careful with, because you don't want to hide your body. Well, you may want to hide your body, but you can't hide your body from your teachers, because they have to be able to correct you and they have to be able to make sure that you're doing things right. So it's a difficult line to kind of walk and try and, still wear things that make you feel confident and keep you warm, but also things that aren't hiding too much. So for example, if you are self-conscious about your arms, I know sometimes I can have days where I'm like, yeah, I really don't like my arms today. And usually I'll just wear a longer sleeve leotard, but if I don't have one that's clean, I'll just throw on some kind of warm-up that stops about, you can't see me, okay, that stops about rib cage, because that way my teachers can still see my hips and they won't tell me to take it off, and I can wear it for as long as I need to in order to get out of my mind and into my dancing. And yeah, right now I have to wear trash bag shorts for my hips, but that also really helps because there are a lot of times where I'm just like, hate the ballet leotard and tights. Like I just hate having to wear this. And so when I get to wear shorts because of an injury, it's got plus and minuses. I mean, I'm in pain, but also like I feel a little more comfortable because even if I still don't look as good as I want to, because after coming off of a break, I mean, I'm not toned, I'm not where I want to be physically. So even though I'm not right there, it makes me feel a little more comfortable knowing that, okay, I have something over my hips. And it's such a weird thing, but it's really just a mental thing. But eventually, once I get into dancing, I can even take those off and I can dance without a skirt on. I mean, if my hips are doing well, that is. But it really just is the beginning part of getting out of your head. And that's what all of this is all about. It's all about getting out of your head and getting focused on dancing. And so the next one and the final thing about apparel, well, clothing-wise, is what skirt you're going to wear if you're going to wear a skirt. Now, I know not everyone can wear a skirt. I am so sorry if you cannot. I don't feel your pain, but I don't know how I would live. I don't know how you live. I am so sorry. But if you do have the option of wearing a skirt, I also recommend having a go-to skirt. I have a go-to skirt because, well, I can only wear 2 colors for my level. So, that being said, my skirt matches both colors. Matches black better, but it also goes-ish with maroon. It's really more of like a last resort. But I do really like it and it is my go-to. I'll insert a picture right here. But it's such a pretty skirt and it's a wrap skirt and it hits my waist high and it still covers everything in the back. And it really just helps me feel more confident because I had a skirt that I really liked, but it was black. That was black, which is why I loved it. But after a while, it didn't cover everything in the back. And I would always be pulling it down and it started distracting me from learning and from dancing. So I finally moved on to a different skirt. And that really does help with confidence, is having a skirt that you know looks flattering on you, goes well with whatever leotard you decide to wear, covers everything that you want covered. If you want a shorter skirt, if you want a longer skirt, if you want a wrap skirt, if you want a bullet skirt or a pull-on skirt, you know, really find, like, my advice is to find a skirt that works well, that, you know, always makes you feel comfortable, that always sits well on you, that you can just vibe with. So, yes, I know. But you have to have that one skirt if you can wear a skirt. And if you have to wear a certain type of skirt, again, I'm very sorry. That advice does not really help you. But if you have to wear a certain type of skirt, you probably have to wear a certain type of leotard and a certain way of tights. So maybe just focus on the second half of this video. That being said, the last thing I have to talk about with apparel is your hair. Now, I know that not all studios let you wear your hair however you want. Our studio, it just has to be up in a bun or a French twist. But really, I would say if you can, experiment with it. I know that me and my friend, Sophie, have been doing like Dutch braids or just braids into a bun. I've done French twist before. I've done full Dutch braids all the way around. There's one girl at my studio who always has gorgeous hair. She'll do like Dutch braids all the way around and then like into like a Dutch braid or a braid updo, and it's just so fancy. Or you can just go classic with a simple bun, which some days that's what you really need. But I do think that if you feel fancy with your hair and if you feel like your hair is going well, then it will help you dance better. Maybe that's just me, but I know whenever I wore a French twist, I felt so much more professional. I felt so much more confident when I was dancing because I was like, I feel professional. I probably look more professional than I normally do. This is what I love. And I really highly recommend, okay, I really recommend just playing around, if you can, that is, playing around with your hair and just really seeing, you know, what suits you. Do you like French twist? Do you like low buns? Do you like high buns? Do you like the ones that are like on top? Do you like looking like an egg? Because there are some days where I just want to look like an egg for dance because it's what's comfortable, it's what my hair naturally does. And that's okay, because if it makes you feel confident, then it's gonna help. So, that being said, we are moving away from the physicality and into more of my other tips. And so the first one is give yourself some time to improv. After class, before class, I found that if I'm feeling a little bit unconfident or self-conscious or insecure one day, that I will just go into a studio, turn on music, not record anything, just turn on music and just dance. So it's something that really just helps you get out of your head and just get your body to be moving, and that's really important. If you're trying to be more confident in your dancing, then, well, one of the ways to do that is by just dancing without thinking. And I know it may seem like such a random thing, but really improv can really help in so many ways. It used to be my outlet for anything that happened in my life, and now I just use it whenever, I want to dance. But it really is something that, you can almost always do. And if you don't have the space to do it, you don't need much space. I mean, you can do arm choreography. I mean, just something simple. And if you just really use emotion, especially if you use the emotion of being insecure about something, it really makes your dancing so much better. And just pouring that emotion into it can help get it out of your head and into your dancing, which is one thing that can also help you feel more confident, because then it's not circulating around your head as you're dancing. The next tip I have is try your hardest to avoid staring at the mirror. I know this is hard, especially if you do ballet, which is my primary thing, but I have found, because during COVID, we have one studio that has full mirrors and then the other one that doesn't. The other one that doesn't is bigger, so we have our more advanced classes in there, which can be hard because I would like mirrors, but I found that when I'm in that studio, I'm staring at the mirror and I'm critiquing everything about myself, not just my technique. I'm critiquing how I look, how my hair is holding up, how my leotard is making my body look, how my tights are making my body look, and it's just so damaging to be staring at a mirror. And this hit me when I took one class after months of not taking any classes with mirrors. And was my technique as good as it should have been? Probably not. We'd also just come off of a month off. However, my point is, if you're trying to be artistic, okay, this is primarily for ballet. This is the thing that I can speak through with ballet, but also I know that other people can kind of relate to with jazz or modern or tap. If you're staring at yourself in the mirror, you're gonna find things you don't like. So if you're trying to develop artistry and the artistic elements of being a dancer, using your head more and your allongé and just everything, if you're trying to add your artisticness, I don't even know if that's a word, but if you're trying to do that, then you don't want to be staring at a mirror, because that's taking away from that. So if you can try, I know it's hard, but try and let yourself just get lost in the artistic side of ballet and the technicalities of your technique, and just focus everything on that instead of staring straight at the mirror, looking at how your body looks in that mirror, which who knows if that mirror is actually a good mirror or not. It could be distorting your body in so many ways. You've all seen the mirrors, the carnival mirrors before, I'm sure, but really you don't want to just stare at a mirror. That's so damaging. I don't care if you're a girl, a boy, young, old, I don't care. It's damaging. You can't argue with it. It's just facts. So, and that's something that I feel like you can take even if you're not a dancer. You know that we're always told to look in the mirror, and the cliche phrase of look in the mirror, what do you see? It's well, if you look in the mirror too hard, you're gonna be too hard on yourself. So eventually you need to learn that you can look in the mirror. You just don't want to spend your whole life in front of the mirror, because when you do that, you're just looking at all the little negative things. That's all you see. It's like an artist with his painting. All he sees is all the places he messed up. When someone else looks at it and they see a masterpiece. You can't just stare at a mirror and expect nothing to change in your mind about how you are. So now that that little rant is over, we're going to move on to the mindset part, which is something that is also like you have to do yourself. You have to think, you have to convert your mindset from I'm going to critique everything I see in the mirror to I'm going to use what I see in the mirror and figure out how I can learn. Because so say you don't feel the most confident in your dancing. You feel very self-conscious, you feel insecure about how you look. We'll just use that example. Then, as long as you're staying healthy, you can take it to a degree where you can say, okay, I'm eating a bunch of junk food. Maybe I should try and incorporate more veggies, more fruits, more water. Maybe I should stop drinking as much soda. And you can take it in a healthy way. Likewise, if you think, oh, my tendu doesn't turn out as much as I want it to, you can go home and take those exercises and learn from the things that you see in the mirror. However, this kind of goes back to what I was just saying. If you just stare and you just never think of it as you're wanting to learn, then you're never going to learn. You have to have the mindset of wanting to learn in order to actually make progress. And I know this is something hard to grasp, if you've never thought of it before, but it really is so true. But you can't expect to learn, go from here to here if you don't have the mindset of, okay, I may not like what I see right now, but if I keep working, then I'll eventually get to where I want it to be. So that's really something that I think is important, to just have a mindset of being willing to accept that you're not perfect, and by that, putting as much power, energy into what you want in order to healthily and realistically achieve a goal that you may have. And the last thing also kind of has to play into that, and it's being adequately fueled. Now, this is both food, water, sleep, mental there-ness. I don't really know the word for that, but you can't expect your body to be doing 16, 20 hours of dance a week without you eating enough, without you drinking enough water and being dehydrated, with you only getting 3 hours of sleep a night, with your brain being on your homework that you didn't do last night. You really need to take care of yourself and be adequately fueled in order to expect your body to be able to learn and to be able to get better and to improve. Otherwise, you're just holding yourself back, and you're really, really, really making it harder to gain any level of growth or see any level of growth. Because while you could have been growing, you're stunting your growth by not giving yourself the actual amount of, you can't grow, because if you're not fueled, then your body won't run. Eventually, you're gonna give out. It's like a car engine. If you don't have enough gas in the tank, then you're gonna run out at some point and you're not gonna be able to function. And if you're getting 4 hours of sleep a night and you go to dance for 6 hours a day, you're not gonna be able to function, hon. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you think you're a superstar or not. You're going to crash and burn. And that's one of the hardest things to learn. And sometimes it's necessary to experience that to learn it. But if you can avoid it, and if you can come to dance with a full stomach and being completely hydrated as much as you can, getting a full 8 hours or 7 or 6, whatever, 9, 12, 18, whatever you want to get, as long as it's healthy amount, then you go. And if you can come to dance and be able to separate what was going on from, okay, I'm at dance now, I'm focused on dance, then you will just be so much happier while you're dancing, and that will lead you to be more confident in your dancing. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know I rambled on for so long, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to leave a like and a comment down below of any other ideas that you have, or if you have any other ways to help make you feel confident. Maybe there's something that you do that just helps you helps you feel so much more confident when you're feeling insecure. if you would comment that down below, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing, and I really want to encourage you all just to take these into consideration. Obviously, you don't have to do any of these, but if you are looking to try and gain a little more confidence while you're dancing, hopefully some of these ideas and tips and tricks helped you. That was the goal of all of this. So I hope that it helped at least one person. But I hope you guys all have had a great week, a great day, that you guys all will go and eat some food, get a snack, get some water, watch some more YouTube, get enough sleep, and I will see you guys next week.